So 1.17 has been released, and this is very exciting because it introduces so many new blocks to Minecraft. And this is part 1 of the Caves and Cliffs update, which has been released, which focuses on bringing all the items and blocks and some of the mechanics into the game. However, this is not the only update that's coming very soon. We have another update which is going to be 1.18, or the second part of the Caves and Cliffs update, coming, well, depending on where you are. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be in winter, and if you're in the southern, it's going to be in summer. It's just going to be around Christmas in the holiday season. And I'll make some shorts of some of this content or the features of this update. So, you know, like this video, subscribe and hit the bell button. And let's get on. I'll put some timestamps at the bottom of this video to show you guys when I'll be talking about stuff, but yeah, let's get on to showing you all the new blocks and items and features that Mojang has added to make this version awesome. Oh yeah, and can we just appreciate before we start how in the first couple of blocks after my spawn, I found a desert well. So if you guys need it, this is my seed right here. This is the seed of the world. So our first topic is what mobs that have been added into 1.17. So there are 3 new mobs added in this version. The axolotl, which comes in 5 different variants, but one of these variants is super rare. And then we have the glow squid. As you can see, the axolotls attack the glow squid, but I've done a video on both of these before. And then finally we have the goat, which does not live in the desert, it lives in the mountain. But yeah, this is what a goat looks like. So glow squids drop glow ink, which can be put on signs to make glow text, or a glow item frame. So that's all the mobs, so let's move on to the amethyst geodes. So these amethyst geodes, like the ones here, are very frequent, or quite frequent throughout the world. As you can see, there's one here, there's one there, there's another one there. They're quite frequent. So this is an amethyst geode that I've taken out from underneath, and I'm just going to skip over things because I've done a short on this. But as you can see, there's a little cave where we have the amethyst block, the budding amethyst block, and the different sizes of amethyst clusters, if you will. Amethyst clusters also drop amethyst shards, which are used to make other items. And on the outside we have this white block calcite and this smooth basalt. So the amethyst shards can make tinted glass, which is basically just modded dark glass, if you know what I mean. It stops the light coming in, so as you can see when we put a roof on this, it's completely dark. There's no light getting in from the outside. Thank you, Mojang. That is an insanely awesome thing you've added. Took your time though. So the next thing you'll find in your world is going to be DEEPSLATE. Now you'll find this all the way down at the bottom somewhere at the end of the world. As you can see, there's DEEPSLATE here, and even DEEPSLATE redstone. I'll get to that in a bit. However, DEEPSLATE is like an alternative to stone, and it fills in the best parts of the grey palette in, I guess, Minecraft's color. And as you can see, it has all the different types of DEEPSLATE. You can see this is coal ore, but if we look up DEEPSLATE, we have a lot of DEEPSLATE. We have all the stairs, the walls, the slabs, and look, we can even get DEEPSLATE ores. This is when they form. The ores form further enough down to be in DEEPSLATE level. But also, as we talk about ores, yeah, these textures have been changed a bit, and look, it looks quite cool, and we have a new ore called copper ore. And we have 3 more blocks, also raw blocks of iron, copper, and gold. However, let's go now to copper. So copper blocks are made out of copper that you find in the ground, basically, and these blocks are special because they erode with how much time goes past. However, with these copper blocks, you can actually right click them with wax, so you can actually preserve the state they're in so they won't change, or to get rid of that preserved state, you just wax it off with an axe. Now, copper makes a lot more, i.e. stairs and slabs, and because you have the oxidized states, you're going to have a lot of new blocks. One thing that copper can craft is a lightning rod, which basically conducts the lightning towards the rod. Another thing that is crafted by copper is the SPYGLASS, which it's a zoom in utility where, yeah, it's really nice. So now let's move on to raw iron, gold and copper. And basically what happens is now when you break iron and copper and gold, you get chunks of raw iron. So when I put fortune on my pickaxe, it behaves like other ores do, and it can drop more than a few at a time. That one didn't, but however that one dropped 3. So we can get all 3 of these raw gold and raw copper and raw iron as well as their block forms. And another part of this Caves and Cliffs update is the introduction of lush caves. So these lush caves are marked by azalea trees, which are basically a new tree that still has oak wood at the bottom. These are the tree saplings and basically bushes, as you can see. They're really cool, and when you bone meal them, you get a tree. However, these are the leaves found on azalea trees, which are those type of trees. And as you go into lush caves, you can find things called rooted dirt, which is a new type of dirt, and hanging roots, which hang off any block that is solid. However, that's not why these are called lush caves. Lush caves have moss and moss carpet, which act as like the vegetation, the small part of vegetation. And as you can see, when I bone mill it, it spreads, so that's a really cool way of getting moss blocks and carpets. In lush caves, you also find spore blossoms that hang off any solid block, and as you can see, they actually produce, maybe in a second, but they actually produce a particle. Okay, I turned my particles on, and as you can see, they produce really cool particles that, when you have a lot of them, can look really cool. Or messy, depending on your view of this. And we also have the 2 different drip leaf types. So we have the small drip leaf and the big drip leaf. We also have the glow berries actually have to be on a solid block, but they're basically really cool. They also produce light level and can be eaten, as you can see. And finally, well, I guess this is not really on the lush caves, but you can find a glow lichen, which produces a light source. If I go midnight, you can see it produces a dim light source. However, this is dim enough just to block mob spawns, so yeah, it generates naturally and does block mob spawns in some places. There's also going to be dripstone caves, which haven't actually been implemented yet because of generation. However, you can get things like pointed dripstone and dripstone blocks, which have been added, and I've done a short on these. And we have now one from actually the cliffs part of this update, which is powdered snow, which is basically a snow block that you can fall in, and as you can see from my GUI, you start to freeze. However, some mobs are immune to this effect. However, this is when leather boots come in handy, because if you equipped leather boots, and I just unequipped this, you can see I can actually now walk on the powdered snow unless I shift. Now I got rid of the freezing effect. And finally, we have the last thing in this release, and it's the candle, which has been added, and there are 16 new types of candles, all in every single color. You can place them and light them on a cake. You can place multiple in a stack, up to 4, and there you go, you can light it. However, that is it now for this 1.17 update, and yeah, this update is a very cool update that will change Minecraft forever. And guess what, I can't wait to 1.18 in the holidays at about Christmas time. However, that is still a while away. So yeah guys, if you liked this video, please like and please subscribe and put that notification bell and follow me on my social medias. You know the drill. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a wonderful time, and I will see you in the next video. Hang on, wait, just before we end this episode, I flew, as you can see, only like 100 blocks, and I found another well. They're meant to be so rare. Anyway, I'll see you guys later in the next episode and video on this channel. So I will see you guys later.